when you left your agency, because here's the thing, I think about everyone listening and watching us right now who's in a friendship that they know is like not serving them, but they don't
Mhm.
want to hurt that person. And so they don't tell the truth, or they're in a relationship, or they're, whatever it might be. And, you being in an agency for a long time, probably working in partnership with a lot of people there, you're saying, no, I'm actually going to do the best thing for me, even if it maybe lets other people down. What's your advice for doing that for someone listening who's like, I don't want to disappoint everyone else, or I don't want to, or they've been there for me in the past and they're okay now, but I know that I deserve so much better.
I think that in life, like it is a measure of your character to be able to meet the moments that you are in, and especially difficult conversations and handling difficult emotions is character growth. And we are
Mm.
tested so many times throughout our life uh, to be that, to step up to the plate, to be an honorable person. I want to be moral. I want to be ethical. I don't want to lie. I sometimes we have to lie, but or it's the best thing to do to. But when you are coming from a place of integrity,
Yeah.
which is not a word that can ever be underused or undervalued, because really integrity is just the most important thing.
Yeah.
So many parts of the world are lacking, or so many areas are lacking, like, so it's so important to, when you're making a decision or you're breaking up a relationship and you're doing it because of your best interest, there is a very gentle way to do those things. And the other person can receive that in a, like, when you are mindful and intentional about how you are relaying that information, it's not really your problem how the other person receives that.
Mm.
All you have to do is honor both of you in that conversation. You can't take care of someone else's emotional reaction to what you've said when you're coming from a place of self, not preservation even, but self, like integrity. Like, this no longer works for me. I'm so sorry, but I respect you and I appreciate everything we've been through together thus far. You have been a huge addition to my life. And right now, this doesn't make any sense for
Mm.
me. It doesn't make sense for me to move forward. And I really have to think about myself, because who else is going to think about me if I don't think about myself?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
while the nuances may differ depending on what relationship you're ending, I think there's always a loving, gentle way to let someone know that we're going to put this on pause. Nothing is final. I don't think that is good language to use. Slamming doors and keeping them closed forever isn't loving. There's always possibility that we could circle back around. And I think that's also a nice kind of way to let people, know, like, maybe we will come back together at some point, but this isn't the right time right now for me. And I need you to respect that.
Mm.
And while people's reactions may vary, and, some people may be angry or hurt or feel rejected, there's nothing bad that can come from acting with integrity.
Mm. That is so good. There's nothing bad that can come from acting with integrity. I think just a quick call out also, what you just said in the past 90 seconds is going to be so good for so many people to just rewind and listen to over and over, because whether they're looking to like borrow your courage or borrow your wisdom on how to, put their foot down in something, a lot of people are. I mean, you've been in Hollywood for a long time too. It's amazing how many people I meet that on the outside are very, very accomplished, but on the inside cannot do what you just did with your agency. Like, they're too scared to stand up for themselves or to put their foot down, or they're too insecure. When you did it, because a lot of people fear, oh, well, what if my other, like in this example, what if my next agency is not as good? Or what if I'm giving up on something where they really know me, or like any of the other things? How did it feel the right after you gave them that news? How did that feel?
Well, I mean, one of my conversations with one of my agents was quite emotional, actually, because she and I had a personal experience a few years back, that was very meaningful and a difficult time in her life. And so we were, it became emotional. But again, I got off the phone and I spoke to my other agent who I had for many years. And I I felt proud, like, that I was able to face that moment. I felt proud that I was able to be an adult. I felt proud that that we got emotional, like that connection. You know what I mean? I'm getting emotional just talking about it because it is so meaningful. Because all you really want in life is to have an impact on people, you know? That's what I want. I want people to feel impacted by me. I want people to feel better and to know that, like, I'm your sister, you know? And in that conversation with her, that was really she reminded me that I was a good sister to her, and I had forgotten that, you know?
Mm.
So, I think with all of this, like, you know, it's hard. Conflict is hard for so many people,
Mm.
but it doesn't have to be conflict.
Mm.
You saying your piece or standing up for yourself doesn't have to be conflict.
Yeah.
It can be easy, you know?
Yeah. What I love so much that also happens when we do it is we're sort of like showing another woman how to do it,
Yes.
which is also beautiful, even though I'm sure they don't want to hear it at the time. But like,
Yeah.
it's like they're seeing an example
Right.
of how to do it. And you taking us through right now um, is also, and talking about how you felt proud that you were able to do it. And then you're reminded
Yeah.
of your connection with that person. I want to say, Chelsea, in a lot of the research I've done for today and talking to lots of people, I felt like the through line I heard from people is that you're a kick-ass girlfriend. Like you're an amazing girlfriend to people. Like you're an amazing family member, but also friend. And I know that, you're doing that now there'll be so many people that maybe you'll never meet in person, but through your book and through the things you're sharing, you're going to impact them
Yeah,
in
I
that
hope so.
way.
I hope so
Yeah.
because you listen, that's the biggest compliment you could ever give me is telling me that I'm a great sister and a great friend. That's what I wanted to be. And that's who I want to be. I want to show up, you know, and I would do it for a stranger. You don't have to know me. Like, you know, if you're in need and I know you and I see you and I come across you, I will help you. You can fucking bet your bottom dollar I will help you, you know, pick you up and patch you back together and do whatever I can because you know, we have to stick together as women. I remember coming up in this industry and it being, it was just like we've been ingrained in women like that we have to compete with each other. And all of this, the blockades that I experienced in my beginning of my career were by women,
Yeah.
not by men. And I was like, what's going on? Like I was threatening to them.
Yeah.
And in turn, they were trying to block my success and tell me I didn't have the value that I believed I had.
Yeah.
And I found that so confounding. And so when I started doing my show on Chelsea Lately, you know, I had my own, you know, issues with people I've worked with before, you know, where I wasn't gracious, you know, maybe or we had friction between us or we were competitive. But once I felt that directed at me, I made sure that I was never going to move forward professionally in that way. Like once I felt it, once I got Chelsea Lately, I was like, I'm going to share this spotlight with as many women, gay men, you know, marginalized communities. Like I want people of color. Everyone was going to be a part of my playground because I I I didn't want anyone to ever experience what I experienced. Like
Mm.
I'm going to come welcome you here on this show and share this, you know, with everyone and that became that show and that's why that show was successful because it was inclusive, not exclusive.
Hmm. It is, it's shocking when you're a woman and there's enough things to worry about, but then we see that happening. And like, I'm 47. I have done plenty of things in my career, and I just had that happen to me recently.
Oh.
And I was like shocked with something I did in Hollywood. I'll tell you off camera, tell you
Okay.
another time. But I couldn't even believe it by another woman who had so much success. Like, the, and I like, I've come to believe in my life that our own, you know, whether someone believes in God, the universe, whatever, I believe our path is divinely orchestrated. I don't think anyone else's success has anything to do with ours or can take ours down or impact ours. Like I really think we're on our own. I think we're the only ones that can lower our vibration, think we're not
Mhm.
worthy of
Yeah.
something and mess it up. So I feel like when people are that way, it's such a bummer, but especially women. And so have you had that happen since?
Sure, I have. But like, I mean, I love what you just said. You know, blowing out someone else's candle doesn't make yours brighter. That's not a real thing. And it's hard in the world we live in. I am a victim of this too, where I look at someone else's success who's succeeded beyond mine and been like, oh, I wish I had done that. Or, oh, and it's a constant reminder to remember what you just said. That is not your path. You're on your path.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, use that as a motivator. Change that like drumbeat in your head that, ooh, I don't like that. They got that, or they got that. Change that drumbeat. Like, yeah, that's success.
Yeah.
One more woman succeeding means more success for all of us.
Yes.
You know, you have to always change those kind of negative thought patterns around to be optimistic and to be hopeful. And it's so much more infectious to be optimistic and to be hopeful and to be happy about people rather than talking shit behind people's back and gossiping and all of the like small vibrational qualities.
Yes.
I've done that in my life, and it has yielded the results that weren't beneficial to me.
Yeah.
You know, when you change your attitude and you change the way you look at things, and that you want success for everyone. I want success for women and for people who don't feel seen. I want everyone to feel successful in life.
Yeah.
And when you spread that around, first of all, you see more of it.
Yep.
And you realize that it starts to infuse you with joy and happiness for others in a way which you were maybe unfamiliar with feeling in the past.
Woo! That is so good. That like right there. No, I feel like that is the greatest life advice. That is people spend so much time trying to figure out how to
Is it
get
okay
what
if I
they
sit
want. Oh yeah, you sit
applesauce?
however you want.
Okay.
People try to like figure out how to get what they want, and then this and then that. And they think, oh, if I tear someone else down, or oh, if I this, that, the other thing. I'll never forget Chelsea, Oprah once saying that to get the thing you want, you have to vibrate at the level of the thing to get it. And what you're just describing is so poignant and so powerful, because you're saying like, once you want more things for other people, once you say we all rise higher, all of a sudden you get more of that in your own life, and you also feel more joyful. And, you know, when I launched this podcast, and every second I was doubting, is Oprah going to show up I was like, I have to vibrate at the level of truly today with you, Chelsea, because this is our first day meeting in person. And I was like, all right, I know Chelsea said in her book, she's always on time. So I think she's going to for sure
I'm
show
early.
up.
I'm early.
I love it. I love
Be
it.
on time even. I'm such a loser. My parents never picked me up from school on time, so I've never been late to anything as an adult because I just hate the idea of being abandoned and anyone waiting for me. I hate that. I find it to be. I'm always early. So yeah, sorry, I was.
Do you
way
feel like
early.
you have abandonment issues?
Yes, of
Yeah, me
course.
too.
I mean, I've worked through a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I don't have, I mean, I've had them. I would say now, no, I don't have a fear of abandonment. I don't have the same needs that I used to as a younger, like say in a relationship, a romantic relationship. I don't have the constant need for reinforcement or revalidation or reassuring. Are they coming? Are they coming? Are they going to call when they say they're going to call? Are they going to da-da-da? I no longer attract people like that in my life. So it's not an issue.
Yeah.
And I don't feel worried about whether or not someone is going to follow through with something with me because I don't have people like that in my life anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like,
That's
and
good.
it just like, if I say I'm going to do something, I will do it.
Yeah.
Today, in this episode of the Jamie Kern Lima Show podcast, if you're ready to feel the freedom of being the real you, finally, if you're ready to build better friendships or strengthen the ones you have and truly learn how to be a girl's girl, if you'd like to release negativity and experience more joy in your life today, then this episode with the incredible Chelsea Handler, who shares things she's never shared before, is for you.